Hello everyone. It is a cold day today. It got down into the upper teens last night and we had a hard freeze. So all the plants in the garden, the warm weather plants, that's pretty much going to kill them all off. But I still got a lot of stuff that I want to do in the garden. So I still have potatoes that I need to harvest. There's a bunch of loofah gourds that Rebecca planted that we need to pick. We need to try to save some seeds for next year. And then all those warm weather plants that are going to die, I just need to tear those all out. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get a shovel and a potato fork and go ahead and get started. So we've got all the plants all pulled out of the garden, and you can see we had quite a few plants. So that cart is heaping full of plants to put on the compost pile, and that is the third cart full that we ended up having. So you can see all the fruits and vegetables. I mean, they're all laying there still on the ground. Most of them are kind of rotten. I don't really want to pick these up by hand. So I'm thinking with this ground cloth, and this kind of goes downhill, that I'll be able to kind of sweep these up into a pile, and then hopefully I can just shovel them up and I just won't have to handle all these rotten fruits. So the garden's all cleaned up now, and you can see how many vegetables fell off the plants. That is a lot of vegetables. That almost filled that cart all the way up, and that's a crazy amount, isn't it? I think that just shows how productive the garden was this year, especially where this ground cover is. That ground cover really held in the moisture, and the plants just did excellent. So this is definitely our best year for tomatoes and for peppers. And so we did end up saving some of these vegetables to the side so that we can save seeds. And then let me go ahead and show you what we harvested also. So over here is a pile of loofah gourds that Rebecca ended up harvesting today. Now we've got to put these somewhere and let them dry. So they've got to dry and turn brown like this. And once they turn brown, you can kind of peel the outer layer off. And on the inside, you end up with like this sponge. It's like a loofah sponge on the inside. So you can bleach this with a little bleach water and it'll turn all nice and white. Rebecca said she basically had a lifetime of loofah gourds here. There is a ton of them. And this is probably only like 2 seeds planted. And those 2 seeds were planted right next to each other, and these spread out everywhere. So be careful, because these things grow like crazy. So here's all the red potatoes we ended up harvesting today. And these are a pretty good size, really. But you can see since they ended up growing twice, they ended up, I think this is a side effect, I think they started growing potatoes off of themselves. And you can kind of see, I don't know if this light will show you, but the newer potatoes are redder. The older potatoes are losing that red color. So, and here's a pretty good example. You can see how lighter this one is, and the new potato on the side is red. So this worries me that these older potatoes won't store as long. So I may just try to basically process these and get them frozen instead of trying to store them fresh. But that's a lot of potatoes right there. I won't be surprised if that's at least 50 pounds of potatoes. So I think these are the only heirloom vegetables we grew this year. So we'll be saving the seeds from them. So this is an Alpolka paste tomato, an Amish paste tomato. We've got some banana peppers and then some Anaheim chili peppers. And everything else I think we grew this year ended up being hybrid. But at least, hopefully next year we won't have to buy these seeds anymore. We'll just save them every year. So I screwed up making this video today. I switched out microphones today because it was a windy day. I didn't get the right cable on the camera, and I had no audio most of the day. So if this video seems a little bit off or a little bit different, it's probably because of my screw up on the audio. So hopefully it turns out all right. So in last year's garden that I had up front, I ended up leaving those plants like in the garden all winter long, and it just looked horrible. So I'm really happy that I was able to get out here, get this all cleaned up. It just looks a lot better. So this is also going to allow me to come back and pull all this ground cloth up. I'll be able to roll that up and store it, and then I can reuse it next year. If I have the time, it'd be nice if I could come back and put some of the compost pile on top of here and get that all tilled in and try to till in some amendments and get it ready for the spring. I don't know if I'll have time for that, but it'd be nice if I could get that done. But anyway, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and thanks for watching.